Good evening, everyone. Dr. Sathe, Mr. Thakkar, Mr. Dhond, distinguished senior advocates, members of the bar, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my privilege and honor to welcome you all for today's function to felicitate Dr. Milind Sathe on his appointment as the Advocate General of Maharashtra. Dr. Sathe really needs no introduction. He's had a career that has spanned decades in which he, and I'm sure everyone in this room will agree, really is someone who has upheld the highest ideals at the bar in terms of his advocacy, integrity, and his commitment to upholding the rule of law. And I think it is that recognition for years and years of hard work and dedicated service for which he has been rewarded with this distinguished post. Could I please now ask our President, Mr. Thakkar, to come and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Milind Sathe, Advocate General of Maharashtra, Mr. Venkatesh Dhond, Vice President, Bombay Bar Association, Mr. Naushad Engineer, Secretary, Bombay Bar Association, Mr. Darayas Khambata, Mr. Ravi Kadam, Mr. Birendra Saraf, former Advocate Generals of Maharashtra, other senior advocates, members of Standing Committee of Bombay Bar Association, all other members of Bombay Bar Association, staff of Bombay Bar Association, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, heartiest congratulations from entire Bombay Bar Association for being our If we count from Jamshedji Kanga, you are 20th Advocate General. And if we count from 1807, you are 53rd Advocate General, who are members of our association. Today we have gathered to felicitate him on his achievement. Bombay Bar Association is proud that the last two Advocate Generals are the members of our association. I am slightly confused. What would be proper for me to address our AG today? Dr. Milind Sathe, Dr. Sathe, Milind sir, AG sir, too many options, and I am really confused. But with permission of AG sir, may I address you simply as Milind. That is how I have addressed you in this long period of our friendship. I don't want to give his biodata. I want to speak about that great human being who has been kind to countless number of students who approached him for assistance, for studies, or to take part in moot court, national or international. He is simple, down-to-earth, unassuming person who is liked, loved, and respected by all. Till 73, Advocate General was ex officio President of Bombay Bar Association. I think after Mr. Sirvai, when others who were not the members of Bombay Bar Association were being appointed as Advocate General, we amended our constitution. Now we have elected President. Milind was elected as President in 2014 and completed his 2 terms as President. Last 2 years were during COVID, which was challenging time for us all. Our elections were held in 2021. During his tenure as President of Bombay Bar Association, we celebrated sesquicentenary of records of Bombay Bar Association. We have earliest record of Bombay Bar Association being the minutes beginning from 22nd January 1866. On that occasion, we published a book, coffee table book, The Legacy of Law. The coffee table book is a result of the hard work and countless hours put in by Milind and Birendra. The other initiatives during that time was conducting the series of struggle to success lectures where senior lawyers, including Milind, shared their experiences. We also had series of subject-wise lectures for continuous education where experts from different fields delivered lectures. Milind, I have never been able to fathom the art of delivering your speeches without holding a scrap of paper in your hand during innumerable functions we held at association. It is indeed remarkable. Is it because you stood first class first in LLM? Is it because you did BSc before jumping into law? Or is it because you did diploma in journalism, diploma in social sciences, diploma in business management, or all of that put together and add your PhD in law on the subject World Trade Organization and constitutional sovereignty of India? I have not been able to still understand. Milind, after joining bar in 1982, joined the chambers of Sri D.R. Dhanukaji, who was our member, senior advocate, and former judge, and thereafter practiced as an arbitrator. What a great human being he was. Let me let out a secret. While starting his career in law, he decided to test standard of UPSC exams and appeared for IAS exam. He cleared it at first attempt and cleared interview also. But then he decided to practice law because he found the law was more interesting than a mundane office of government. If Milind had decided to take that path, there would have been a void here in our profession. In 1990, Milind started his own chambers. He had built a very large practice and amongst others in constitutional matters. Having appeared before 5, 7 and 9 judges constitution benches in Supreme Court in various matters involving constitutional challenges to Public Premises Act, Sikh Textile Mills Act, Bombay Rent Act, Maharashtra Rent Act, Mahada Act, interpretation of Article 31B and 9th Schedule, validity of entry tax, challenge to 39th Constitutional Amendment Act, validity of Monopolies Act, the list would be endless. In 2014-15, he stopped traveling outside Mumbai for professional work. There were no exceptions. How big the matter was in terms of stakes involved or constitutional issue involved, he did not make any exception. But thanks to online hearings, he appears online now in outside Bombay courts. There is no doubt government has picked up most eligible bachelor to be an advocate general. It is lost to the petitioners, but I understand that it took a lot of persuasion on the part of government and probably my friend Biren also to get Milind to agree to it. Milind loves to teach. He has been visiting faculty for Bar Council of Maharashtra in Goa, KC Law College, ILS Law College, Pune. He has also done several workshops for our associations. I have already requested Milind to address our members on drafting writ petitions, but that was before his announcement of Advocate Generalship. And I would continue to request him to adhere to his promise that he will give the lecture to our juniors on drafting of writ petitions. Law, literature, music and travels. I understand in that priority are his interest in life, major interest in life. Because prior to every vacation, we would exchange notes on which exotic destination he would be traveling. He has traveled almost all the continents except Antarctica, which he had scheduled to go during this December holidays, but which he has now cancelled. I'm sure he has postponed it to some future date. Milind lives a very disciplined life. Every morning you can find him in Milan having his cup of coffee with his friends, and then from 9 o'clock onwards, after listening to some music, he has conferences lined up, and the whole day thereafter in court and afterward there is a conference. He is a prolific writer. He has written a book, Kaleidoscope. Some of you must have received that book, which is about an observation of life and experiences of everyone he had known, seen, heard or read about. The book is for sheer fun and pleasure. On a serious note, he has also written several other books. To name a few, there is one on law on writs, evolution of constitutional law in India, and evolution of human rights. I know your kaleidoscope is tilted now. A scenario has changed. When do we expect kaleidoscope 2? Milind, at the end, heartiest congratulations from me and each one of our members here. We are proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thakkar. Could I now just request Mr. Thakkar to please present a small memento and a plant to Dr. Sathe. And could I request Mr. Dhond to present the plant to Dr. Sathe. Could I now request the learned Advocate General to come and say a few words?
Nitin Bhai, President, and my friend, Venki and Naushad. And I won't name others, I will only say, my dear friends. Of course, I have to mention my senior, Mr. Rafiq Dada. When I joined the chambers of D.R. Dhanuka, who later became the judge, I first time entered this hall, and then in few days, a trial before Justice Bharucha started, which was popularly known as NRC trial. And I met Mr. Rafiq Dada, and he became my second senior. And of course, a few years later, I started working with Mr. Ashok Desai, who became my virtually the second senior. Apart from these three persons whom I must specially mention, there are innumerable persons at the bar with whom I have worked, and I owe great debt to them. But the entry in the Bar Association was the changing and turning point of my life, being a member of the Bar Association. In those days, the membership was not easily available, but the standing committee, headed by the president, Mr. Cooper, made an exception and called a special standing committee meeting to enroll those who had applied, because a week later, there was a farewell felicitation of Justice Madan, who was elevated to Supreme Court of India. And in order to enable us to attend that farewell dinner, we were enrolled as members, and we could attend the dinner for felicitation of Justice Madan, which was held at Poonam International at Worli. That was my first bar dinner and introduction to what President Cooper was, who would regale with his after dinner speeches entire Bar Association and the bar members. So that was the beginning of the journey at the Bombay Bar Association. Of course, thereafter there are several events which I have been part and parcel of Bombay Bar Association, and I have been fortunate to be the honorary secretary of this association for 3 years between 96 and 1999, when Mr. Chagla, late Mr. Chagla, was the president of the Bar Association and Mr. Dada was the vice president. And subsequently, of course, between 2014 and 21, I was the president of this association. It's overwhelming to be here and be in front of you for felicitation. When Nitin Bhai asked me about this function, I was very reluctant, I was feeling strange, because I've been hosting these functions for several years. And to be here and to accept felicitation was feeling little strange. But then I was reminded of a story which Ashok Bhai used to tell. He once said, when you become somebody, when you achieve something, what is the law? Do you receive a felicitation or you have to give a party to others for you having become? He said, but then as a lawyer, we go by precedents. And Ashok Bhai said, there is a precedent. And the precedent was what? In olden days, in 20s and 30s, there used to be a concept called justice of peace, which is equivalent to special executive magistrate. A respected person from locality would be appointed justice of peace. So he said, Sir Jamshedji Kanga had a peon called Bhiwa. So one day he came and saluted Jamshedji and said, Sahib Bakshis. So Jamshedji asked him, what happened? He said, I have become just JP. So if you become somebody, you are entitled to receive felicitation, is the law, is the precedent in law. So I agreed. But of course, coming to Bombay Bar Association is, of course, it's my house where we have grown, and all of us, for all of us, it's a family. During my tenure as a president, I must mention what we did, and that we did with a great assistance and collaboration with Mr. Nitin Bhai as a vice president, and more importantly, Dr. Biren Saraf as honorary secretary of the association. So without them, nothing could have been possible. We did large number of things. We started the continuing legal education program, for which we invited most seniors, judges, etc. And it was a tremendous success. Almost on every third Saturday, the program would be full. A program will be held here, and this hall would be full with more than 200 people. Then, of course, we did the sesquicentenary of our records of the association, and we have found, but we haven't got all entire documents for that as yet. The Bombay Bar Association was established not in 1866, because 1866 is the document, it's the minutes which we found out. The Bombay Bar Association was actually founded on 8th of May 1824, when the Supreme Court of Bombay was established, and the Bombay Bar Association was established with 4 lawyers. One of the lawyer was the Advocate General at the Supreme Court, and the first case which was argued before the Supreme Court was whether the Advocate General has precedence over the other lawyers in address to the court. And that was the first decision rendered by Supreme Court of Bombay on 10th of May 1824, and they ruled in favor of Advocate General, and that's how the Advocate General became the president of the Bombay Bar Association, and that tradition continued till 1973. Till great Mr. Sirvai was the Advocate General. And as Nitin Bhai mentioned, after that, since the persons who were appointed as Advocate General were not members of the association, then the elections of Bombay Bar Association president started, and Mr. Mathalon was the first elected president. And of course, we had legendary Cooper for almost 9 years as president. So these are the memories of Bombay Bar Association, which I will always cherish. Of course, it's a learning place. I have mentioned in sesquicentenary book about Bombay Bar Association that it's a gurukul for all of us. The seniors are our teachers. When we join the bar, when we spend time at Bombay Bar Association, it's the learning experience which all of us, learning curve which all of us undergo, and that's the great tradition of Bombay Bar Association. I must mention the seniors who have been instrumental in shaping my life. As I mentioned, the 3 most important, my senior Justice Dhanuka, Mr. Dada, and Mr. Ashok Desai. And in addition to that, I must mention one more important name, and that is Mr. Fali Nariman. I have done innumerable cases with him, both at Mumbai as well as in Delhi, and every single case has been a learning experience. And the speciality of Bombay Bar Association is the relationship between the junior and a senior shapes the career, the future of the junior, and that's the tradition which we have all grown up with, and I'm sure that tradition will continue. As an Advocate General, I promise that I won't take a name of any Advocate General in state of Maharashtra, because there are too many, innumerable, whom I would say I would follow, etc. I would mention the name of Advocate General of Gujarat, Shankar Bhai Thakur, who happened to be from Mumbai. He shifted to Gujarat in 1960 when state of Gujarat was formed, and he was Advocate General from 1960 till almost 2000. For 40 years he was Advocate General, regardless of change of regime, change of governments, etc. I'm not planning to do that, but I am only saying and citing him as an illustration that he was the most forthright, upright, and the Advocate Advocate General whom everybody would look to. He was the standard for lawyers in Gujarat, Bombay, and almost all over India. So that's the Advocate General I would try to emulate in whatever little work I do. That's the promise which I make to myself and to keep the traditions of the Bombay Bar Association. As I mentioned, the memories of Bombay Bar Association are innumerable, but I cannot not mention about Mrs. Gracious at the Bombay Bar Association function. When I was honorary secretary, there was a resolution, a requisition received to call general body meeting to pass a resolution to remove Mrs. Gracious. So she campaigned overwhelmingly with everybody, and at that meeting which was attended, I saw the largest attendance for that meeting, and for that meeting, Mr. Palkhiwala had come, Mr. Nariman had come to vote in favor of Mrs. Gracious so that she is not removed, and of course that resolution was defeated. And one more thing, in 2016, when we celebrated our sesquicentenary, in January, she passed away in May of that year. In January, she came to me requesting that she needs to increase the tariff. I said, I just sanctioned the increase in tariff for the stuff she would serve. Some few months back, she said, no, Mr. Sathe, I need to save for my old age. I couldn't resist her request because of such optimism and hope. So, Mrs. Gracious, and of course the Mr. Patel, who can forget at a bar function Mr. Patel. So that's the memory, nostalgic memory of Bombay Bar Association. I thank each one of you for being here this evening, for congratulating me for my assuming the office of Advocate General, and I will endeavor to keep the name and tradition of Bombay Bar Association, for which this association stands for, as tall from 1824. I would endeavor my best towards that end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sathe, for those warm memories and those lovely words. Really, thanks to all of you for coming out in such large numbers to felicitate one of our own. And thanks again to the BBA staff and especially Mr. Patel. And please do join us for some snacks and tea. Thank you. This concludes our evening's function.